So in this lecture we will discuss about the val versus var. So what is val and what is var? So in Kotlin, var is mutable, whereas val is immutable in Kotlin. So basically var stands for variable, the things which can change, which changes. Now suppose you have a salary, so it changes, maybe in quarterly, maybe half yearly, maybe yearly. So that changes periodically, may not change for a certain period of time, may changes after some time. So that is mutable, that can be changed. Okay. Now val is immutable, so that works same as constant, something which is constant. Now suppose there is a value pi or a lambda or logarithmic value or some value. So suppose your name. So your name is not going to be changed most of the time in your lifetime. So that is defined as val because it is immutable. You do not change it. It cannot be changed. So this is a basic difference. So it is pretty much safe to use immutable properties unless mandatory in some cases. Immutable provides more predictability and thread safety. As of now, I think you are not familiar with thread safety and thread stuff if you are a novice to programming language. So we will discuss that in the later chapters. But those who are from the programming background, who have done some programming stuff earlier, they must be knowing about the thread and concurrency. And it is always preferred to use immutable objects in Kotlin, as suggested by the standard Kotlin documents. So this is a theory about this. We'll do some practical based on the same. Let's go to IntelliJ. Now you can see that the code which we have written in the previous lecture, it appears gray. Why so? Because I have commented it out. So I already said in the previous chapter, in the previous lecture, that the code which is commented out will not take part in the execution process. It will not be executed. It is only for directing the programmer, okay, while reading the code, because it makes the programmer convenient in reading the code, what particular module, what particular function is doing over there, what the particular line indicates. So most of the time it is safer to include comments everywhere throughout the code, or at least at the start of some function, to indicate the functionality and the purpose of that particular function. We will discuss that later, I think in the next one, maybe next chapter. So as of now, you can delete it also. Now here, what we are trying to see, the difference between the val and var. We have already seen var. Let's again put it out. Name is equal to, this time, Tom Cruise. And suppose on the very next line, if I write print statement to print this variable name, just run it out. It will take a while. You can see at the bottom on the console the output of the same. You can see Tom Cruise because we have printed it out over here in our main function. So you can see this is variable. Now suppose I have already said the variable which is declared using var is mutable. That means it can be changed later if you want to change it. So that means it is mutable. So again, if you try to reassign some value, now this time, earlier it was Tom Cruise. Now suppose Tom Hanks. Now guess what would be the output of the same. Run the code and wait to see the output on the console. This time it is Tom Hanks. Why? As I already said, on the very first line, this line number 12, we have declared name as a variable, that is var, and assigned a one string Tom Cruise. But later we have changed the assignment of the string. Here on line number 14, we have assigned a new string value to this particular variable name. So now this name holds a value Tom Hanks. So when you print this variable on line number 17, it will print the last updated value of the variable. So last updated value is Tom Hanks on line number 14. That's why you can see on the console it prints Tom Hanks. So again, if you again change the value of this variable, suppose to Bill Clinton, and now again try to run it, you can see the output on the console again. It is Bill Clinton, because what I have said earlier, that it will print the line number 19 this time, the print statement, it will print the last updated value of this name variable, and the last updated value of this variable is on line number 16. We have updated it to Bill Clinton. Now it holds the value Bill Clinton. Okay, so now I would like to give you one more example. Those who are for novice, and if you are veteran, you can leave this stuff. Now this is a memory. Okay, and these are several memory locations. Okay, these are several memory locations. This is suppose A, this is suppose B. Now here you can see that it holds the value Tom Cruise, as the space is not enough, but you can understand this particular memory holds the value Tom Cruise. Okay, and this particular holds the value Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. Okay, and suppose there is one more location that holds the value Bill Clinton. It is pretty much cumbersome at the start, but later we will move faster. Only for the newcomers or novice or new programmer, new babies, I am just explaining it in a very detailed manner. Now suppose what we have done there, we had declared var name. So at the start, when we define the variable name, you can see over here Tom Cruise. So initially it was pointing to Tom Cruise. Okay, it was pointing to Tom Cruise. But after that we had reassigned it, so it will now point to the next string, that is Tom Hanks. So you can rub it out, and again now this will point to Tom Hanks, not Tom Cruise. And at the last we have again assigned one more value, Bill Clinton. So it will forget about the last updated value. Now it will point to the Bill Clinton, this one. It will no more remember this stuff. That's why I have marked it crossed. So now at last it points to Bill Clinton and it holds the value Bill Clinton. Okay, so this is the last updated value to the var. Okay, so now forget about this. We'll see about the val. Now suppose you have, this is var, okay, this is val. So what I have said, that val is immutable, because once you define it, you cannot change the value of that particular variable. So you can see it shows a red mark over here, and you can see if you hover your mouse cursor over the same line, you can see over there that val cannot be reassigned. We have already discussed this. So if you comment it out, then everything seems fine. Now, not yet. We have commented this part, and see guys, to comment you can just prefix your expression with double slash, so it will make the whole line commented, and that will not take part in the execution. But again, after commenting this part, you can see the error goes to the next line, the line number 16. It again says val cannot be reassigned, okay, because we have already assigned it at the beginning. So again, if you comment it out, you can see everything is fine, and when we run this code, I think it will print Tom Cruise, and it will. You can see it prints Tom Cruise because we have assigned it over here, okay. So this was a basic difference between the val and var. We'll see the rest of the stuff in the later chapters. As of now, thanks.